Hello everyone and welcome to the 60X Business Show. My name is Kitumaini and together with my guests, we will have different conversations about business, entrepreneurship and life. This is the show you've been waiting for. Stay tuned. Welcome to our first ever show of 2021. And I have an amazing guest in my studio. And together allow us to wish you Happy New Year. 2021 gonna be indeed an amazing year. My guest today is the founder of Rio Green Golds, which is a social enterprise that farm tropic fruits. And they specialize mostly in banana value chain, where they are currently selling to the local as well as the international market through exports. And my guest in the show today is Nandan Pacific Shimiimana. Pacific, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Christian.
How are you?
I'm very well, thanks. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to my friends. How is your excitement for this new year? We just starting the year. How is your excitement?
I think this is an year for positivity. Mm-hmm. We are starting the year with new COVID vaccine getting like in the air. We feel that like this pandemic is going to have an end very close.
Awesome. So we have the vaccine, which is already out there. And in terms of business-wise, there is a lot of positivity and hope about 2021. And we really, as Pacific said, we're really looking forward and excited about that. So Pacific, on the show, on the 60X Business Show, you'll be spinning the wheel and randomly will select a number. And from there, I will ask you a question. Are you excited and are you ready for this?
Wow, yeah, great.
Awesome.
Can I start the spinning now?
Definitely, over to you.
Sure.
Let's see which number you would get.
Yes.
Let's hold it once and see your lucky number.
Number 10, 11. Wow.
Number 11. You're the founder of Rio Green Golds and you started your business back in 2015. Can you tell us the story behind your brand, why you started your company?
Thank you, Christian. It's a nice question. Back in 2015, I was just graduating from university. I graduated from the University of Rwanda in the Department of Biotechnology. So my research was on banana recale production, which is kind of variation on some of the indigenous banana we have here in Rwanda. So there was one I had did the research on. And with my research on banana, I realized that we have a lot of potential with the banana crop we have in Eastern Province. I come from Kirehe district, that's where that's my home. And I realized that if we could add value to the banana we produce, not only into transformation and processing, but just making sure that we have the right quality for high-end market. You see, Kigali is now a hub for international NMICs, international conferences, and you find like hotels and supermarkets, they are looking for good quality fruits. So that's when we started, and we realized that the biggest challenge was that farmers were not motivated to have the ability to produce the needed quality for the market. So when we started, we did a demonstration farm back in Mushikiri sector. Then the demonstration farm, we used it to call local smallholder farmers, peasant people who just do banana production for their daily life, but they don't really make enough money out of it due to the challenge they have. Like they don't have the skills, they don't have the tools, they don't have the technology maybe to do the preservation. So that's when we realized that it's an opportunity for us. Then we started buying bananas on the markets, and we'll sell it here in Kigali. We started having the first contract with big hotels. And at the time, it was just overwhelming for us. And we just kept it from there. Today, we've increased our a number of crops that we were targeting. We started with banana, but now we are also into avocados for export. And we are also increasing the number of smallholder farmers that are working with us directly because they can get a contract from my company. Riogin God will give them a contract, then they will produce with insurance that their products are going to be able to be sold on the market.
Wow, fantastic. That is really an amazing story. Coming up together as youth, tackling a problem that your community is facing and create a business out of it that you can supply to the Rwandan market as well as feed the world through the exports. That is really amazing, and please keep up the good work. And talking about banana, I guess you produce different types of banana. Why the focus on banana, and what makes banana so special? Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, Christian, I normally tell people that I love banana, but I hail from a community where we eat banana on the ranch. We drink banana. It's either banana beer or banana juice. And back in the time before the government of Rwanda stopped people having some houses that were shelves with the banana leaves, but we used even to sleep on banana leaves. So banana, it's a big cultural thing. It's a cultural crop in Rwanda. Everywhere you go, there is a wedding. They will be talking about rugwagwa, banana beer, and like as a kid, I used to love banana, and like growing up in Kirehe was something that really enforced it into my life, because I will never forget to tell a story of when I did the first banana juice extraction. So when I visited my grandma some time back, the first thing that she taught me was to do banana juice extraction. And once you do that, you have that experience, the following day you'll be going around as a kid and you'll be grabbing all of the bananas so that you can repeat the same experiment, the same extraction of banana juice. But in Rwanda, banana is it's a ubiquitous crop that it's said even every picture that you take outside Kigali, there is a banana leaf in the background of that picture. So you can understand how banana is one of the very important crop in Rwandan society. But in Kirehe, more than 70% of people living there, they are on banana production. And its value addition is a bit easy to start with. So that's how we got interested into bananas.
Wonderful, amazing. Let's spin the wheel for the second round of question.
Okay.
Let's see which number you get this time. You got
I hope I don't get the same one.
Let's hope.
Okay, now I'm on number 2 or 3. Yeah. Okay.
Just relax and wait.
It's there. Number 4.
Amazing. I've seen the way you were talking about your business and your community in Kire and the work that you do. You seem to be a very, very passionate person. Being a young person yourself, can you tell me why do you wake up every day to do the work that you do? What drives you every day?
I think one of the thing that pushes me is to just build my business, because when you are a business person and you have that entrepreneurial mind, when you pass by and you realize there is a problem on the street, the first thing that you want to do is to how can you better that experience and make money out of it. That's normally the entrepreneurial skills. That's what pushes people like us who start businesses to think of maybe turning a wood into a chair. So, or having realized that banana farmers who, like I share the same community, are struggling to get their products on the market. And once you realize that it's a potential, although it's a problem in the first time, then you feel like, okay, what can I do so that maybe these people can pay me? So that's the good vibe of being an entrepreneur. But Since I started this journey of an entrepreneurial activities, I realized that I did not want to do this alone. One of the motivation I have today is from the network that you build on a daily basis. Like when I met other fellow young entrepreneurs like myself, maybe when we have some meetings within the Ministry of Agriculture. We have a forum that's called Rwanda Youth in Agribusiness Forum. Or when just you are invited to a meeting as a CEO, you get to realize that the most important thing is the value or the solution that you are giving to your community. And in return, you can benefit as a payment, you can benefit as having maybe access to that market, having access to that information. So that's what really drives most of people like us who are doing entrepreneurial activities at young age.
Wonderful. The way you're explaining what drives you every day, I can see a lot of zeal, a lot of passion into that. And especially for young entrepreneurs out there. And talking about entrepreneurship, how does it feel being an entrepreneur, especially a young entrepreneur? You started your company in 2015. That's almost 6 years ago. It is a long time ago. I guess that time you were very, very young.
Yeah, sure.
How does it feel being an entrepreneur, serving both the local markets as well as the international market?
Okay. The entrepreneurial journey is not really a very straight line because we have some days that we are down really and we really need people to just talk to you because when you do business and you realize that maybe your products are not going to be able to reach the market, maybe it rained a lot down there in the village and the roads are not really working. And in that situation, most of the entrepreneurs, you have like really bad day because you are furious. You want to see things just changing and improving. But when we started working on the local market, our interest was mainly to do sales that will keep the company growing. We increase the number of smallholder farmers who supplies our network. And furthermore, we realized that it's not only about selling a lot on the market, but it's also about the price. Because when you look at the Rwandan market and you are selling matoke, it just fluctuates with the season. Because with the peak season for potato production in Rwanda, the price of banana will just go down maybe three-fourths. So we realized that we needed to do some investments, challenges. We had some challenges because banana were also facing some diseases. You might have had some kiraviranya, it's banana wilt. We have Panama disease. And having that entrepreneurial idea, we realized that maybe let's bring in more smallholder farmers who can work with us. And we start export because you never think of export if you are just operating over 1 or 2 hectares. Because you need to have enough products that has to be ready at the time that it has to be shipped. For Rwanda, we are now shipping using air cargo. It's very expensive. But we think maybe with the development, it's going to change over time. But to your question, the most good thing that makes me happy every time when I realize that we can export or we can sell to the high-end market here in Kigali is to just feel like if you go to a restaurant, you feel like, oh, these bananas are not good like mine. When I realize that there are some bad bananas on the market, it's one of the very rewarding and force that push me to even the next morning to wake up and go on the farm or work with my business with a very positive heart that we are going to make nice sales.
Wonderful. As you heard from Pacific, how it feels about being an entrepreneur is the ability of pushing himself whenever there is something in the market that can be done better, and they have that solution. They have that product that can solve that problem by putting the customers first, by improving the sales, and also serving the markets. Let's spin the wheel for another round of questions and see what's going to be our next lucky number. You've got
I've got 11,
got
4, and now I have 7.
Is your next lucky number.
Okay.
And talking about you're a young person, your company is a youth-led enterprise. How do you think youth can be involved in agriculture, massively involved in agriculture, and why is it important for our young generation to create business, be involved into that, to enable this industry to thrive?
When you look at the demographics of our country, you realize that it's recorded that 70% of our population, they rely on agriculture on a daily basis. And when you also look at the numbers of the youth we have within our community, you realize that we have more than 60%. We are part of the segment of the population called youth. That means there is a correlation. We have youth who are in agriculture, but the challenge is how are they performing? Yeah. What tools do they have so that they can be like more efficient, so that they can be more even business oriented? Because some people, they are doing business. When you go to Nyabugogo, it's one of the very crowded places, and you see bikesmen. They are transporting agro products. They're transporting bananas, beans. Someone is from up country and he wants to do the transport, or she wants to do the transport. All of those people, they are active in agriculture, but they don't know about that. The only thing that young people we should maybe realize is to make those innovations that the community expects from us, because we are the one who really have that ability to be innovative sometimes. And the challenge I see is that youth don't really understand how to maybe expose what they are doing. Because if you look at those numbers, 70% of the population doing agriculture, 60% of the population of Rwanda being the youth, it means that agriculture is mainly being practiced by young people. But how can we support them to be maybe like Pacific, be able to export, or you be able to sell your matoke to Kigali Convention Center? So that's where we need capacity building in the first time, but we also need mentorship to those young people. I have maybe been able to reach here because I've had a very wealthy network of mentors, from my family to people I work with, to organization. You end up partnering. When you have a business, you have partnership with some organization. To that question, I will feel like it's not that we need to push young people to go in agriculture, because I believe that they are already there. Okay. How can we support those who are practicing agriculture to be successful? Okay. So that's the main and important thing of 2021. Because if we still just go down there we are recruiting young people who are doing agriculture who are young, we are wasting our time, because we have them everywhere. Let's say if we can have people using ICT to help those bikesmen being able to have a well-connected, coordinated activity or system, maybe we should solve the problem of delivering. We are starting, like in 2020, the COVID has pushed all of our businesses to think of selling online, but we still face the problem of delivering. Yeah. So if we can be able to support those youth, maybe have them into cooperatives that are well organized and with maybe the right tools, we will say that young people who are doing the bikeman business, they are now transforming agriculture because they are linking the market, the farmers to the market. So it's a matter of just now switching from we don't have youth in agriculture to the fact that we have to support those who are in agriculture today.
Wonderful. As we heard from Pacific, there are a lot of youth that are involved in the agricultural space business. And as you look at their percentage of the Rwandan population youth, what is more important, according to him, is provide a support system so that those youth-led enterprises in agriculture can thrive, can grow, can have information to different markets, can have information to different, for example, different networks that can enable their business to grow, to make some sound decisions about their business, grow their clientele, also expand their business sometimes through exports and either securing some finances to be able to help them grow. Information, it's so crucial, and building a support system to already youth who are operating in agriculture will enable the industry to grow. The follow-up question to you, Pacific, will be, a lot of businesses have been impacted by COVID-19. Like your sector was performing a little bit much better compared to other sectors, like tourism and hospitality, where they've seen their sales declining badly. I know some businesses in agriculture, they were still operating, though they could not be able to meet all fully their targets, but they were operating. Can you tell us, in your case, especially your business, how was your business affected, if it was affected, and how did you solve some of the challenges, or are you still solving some of the challenges that you're facing?
Okay, thanks for that question. It's really important that today we try to analyze how COVID really impacted our businesses and what we learned from that experience. Like you said, most of businesses got affected because when you don't have free movement of people, all of the business will suffer that same day. Yeah. But we were not really affected like the tourism and hospitality sector, or maybe some other sector like transport, who had to shut down on that following day without any other further
internal transportation.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but for us who are in agriculture, we're also facing the challenges or the burdens of those other sectors. For example, my business sells to the high-end clients. Those are hotels, those are supermarkets. Those are wealthy people in Kigali who have apartments, who can order bananas, who can subscribe to have banana deliveries of avocados and other fruits and vegetables we supply along our customers. But once we realized that we are not going to be able to have maybe some public market also had closed, like Nyabugogo, Mutangana, and Kimirongo, they were not really working. It just pushed all of the business to try to be into what I would call survival mode. Yes, with that survival mode, my company realized that we can no longer only rely on customers who are businesses only. Because since we started, we've been selling to businesses. People are going to sell again to the end users. But with that challenge, we found out that let's open our outlet shop here in Kigali. We have an outlet here in Kigali, in Nyamirambo, so that we can maybe try to see if we can sell directly to the consumers. Because we've been selling to hotels, restaurants, supermarkets, and those people, they had 100% closed their businesses. So we were looking up, how can we sell all of those bananas we had? And the season was good. So the production was really nice. And you would cry when you see your production on the field, but you cannot transport it to the market because there is no market. There's not enough market. So with COVID, our business really iterated a bit to not only be a business-to-business system. Now we have a business to customer relationship that it's growing. And we are now, as you were asking, what are the reasons we got? We are now moving to go online. We want to have our website annexed with an online shop where people can go online and you can order some fresh fruits that you want in kilograms, and it's gonna be convenient for the Kigali residents, because you can have a weekly subscription, and every morning you have someone delivering your fresh products. So that's really how we had to change and cope up with the COVID and such pandemic that are really threatening even life of people. You don't just wake up and put something on the market. You need to even be vigilant. How is it going to be perceived? Is it going to be following the rules and regulation that the government has put in place, so that we don't do the transmission of the virus? So I think we are running, and we will keep running, of course, because the pandemic is still there, and we have to keep the distance and wash our hands every time.
Wonderful. Yeah. As you heard from Pacific, yes, his business has also been affected, but what they've learned during that time was to pivot a little bit the business model, because before the pandemic, they used to do business to business, basically selling to different other bigger buyers, but they've shifted the business model to selling directly to customers. Through their retail store in Nyamirambo, they were able to directly deliver to the customers, and they were able to achieve some of their sales. Pacific, I've seen a lot of passion in what you do, the way you can describe it, the way you can explain it, and that goes also into the way you're doing your work with your team. Can you tell us who inspired you to venture in the business world, and when was that?
That question is very tricky every time for me when they ask me who inspired you most. But I
who
think,
inspired you to start?
So when I was about to start the business, you know, like our models will change over time. When we were young, I used to feel like I want to be the president of America. And so as you grow, you realize that you are Rwandan, then you can do this. But I did not have any ambition to be a business person in the first time. I was trying to solve a kind of problem in the community.
Did you have?
My ambitions now, maybe they are growing. As you are a business person, you realize that you need to grow in this area. You need to have this ability to deliver on your demands. But let me come back maybe on the like model. What really motivated me to start this? It was really my community back in Kirehe, because growing up, my family could get money to send us to school because we sold bananas. So when I graduated, I was really even not sure if I was going to fit for the job market, because I did biotechnology, and that's a lot of science that our country does not really have any system to absorb people who do biotechnology. But I was like, oh, I did biotechnology, but it's something that is supporting farmers. It's something that I can work with. I can talk to my family. They can help me maybe have a run to start my activities on. So the biggest motivator was how we could sell the products of bananas in Kirehe district, because we had huge potential, but I was always finding it like as a problem every time that we are selling. The prices are so low. And I was like, this has maybe to find a way we can change this. So for now, what maybe I see like the ambitions is to have a stable business. You know, in Rwanda we haven't have. I was reading recently, they were celebrating one young lady who's been able to raise up to 300,000 USD.
Okay.
So it's a lot of money for us people who are in business to be able to raise that much money. It's still a challenge here in Rwanda. But my idea is not to just grow the business. It's just to be able to see my products on the market where they are performing. Now we are we are now getting ready to start the export of our avocados to Switzerland. And one of the very rewarding scenario that an entrepreneur can feel is to just feel like, oh, my products are in this supermarket. And every time that you go out and you are telling friends that you can now have my bananas in this supermarket, everyone is, wow. So that's the ambitions we have as entrepreneurs.
Amazing, amazing. We are coming to the end of the conversation, but let me wrap up this conversation with my last question. If you could start over in business, what business would you start?
Okay, definitely I'll be still in agriculture, but I will not be doing primary production.
Okay.
Because one, it's not because I don't want to do primary production or it's wacky or something, but it's more risky in primary production.
Okay.
But my fear is like I should have maybe started with supplying with the right seeds and varieties to the farmers so that they can be the one like multiplicating, like making harvest so that we can access the harvest. Because like you know, land here in Rwanda, it's very expensive. And when you start the primary production, you need access to land. Yeah. You invest a lot into the land production. But that doesn't really create now like much of the impact like you can do if you are equipping hundreds of smallholder farmers where you don't have to dig the land, but you support people, you support an existing machinery to just keep the production.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So we are coming to the end of this conversation, and my guest was Pacific Kitumaini, who is the founder of Rio Green Gold. Thanks a lot, Pacific, for making it to the show.
It's a pleasure.
Awesome. The conversation continues on social media using the hashtag 60xbusiness. Remember to tag me in my handle. It's at Kitumaini. Till next time, remember to wear your mask and wash your hand regularly. And I see you down the road.